Hey, Mel B, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing
So
well
happy
too.
to have this chat.
Yeah, listen, for our audience, this is totally an impromptu. I just got off a coaching call, and well, I guess I would say I have my arse kicked, like the British say. Do they say arse? That's okay
Art.
to say, right? So then I said, Mel B, we got to talk about our own growing. Mm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes. And
What are
it's always good to have a coach. Always, 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 right?
Do you remember any best of moments? I mean,
Oh.
he said I
Mhm.
was being silly, and I'll lean into that a little bit. I'll lean into it. Um, anyway, sometimes we get stuck, and we need a coach.
Yeah, and for me, I love the fact that the coaches allow you to see things that would have been previously unseen. And even like, when you're working with anybody, you are able to just, you can point things out to people that they don't see in themselves. It's
Right.
just the same. It's the same with coaches and us professionally, right? So I have been able to be coached myself on being more visible and how uh you know I was intentionally not doing certain things. Well,
Playing
I didn't
small or
real
hiding or holding
I
back, maybe.
yeah, holding back and hiding because I was like, "Oh, what about, I don't want to be judged." And in my head, that was the underlying fear, right? It was all fear-based, like I don't want to be judged, I don't want to be seen, what will people say? And in my head, I was making it sound really good. I don't have time, this, that, and it wasn't any of that. It was just me being scared,
Right. Which is
right?
real. And I think when people see, successes or our successes, they may think that we don't experience those growing pains, but we do. And they're blocks. The blocks are real until all of a sudden someone shakes it loose, and we're like, "Oh yeah, that is silly."
Yeah, right, right. That totally is silly. So, and it's and I just people are so sometimes so against it, but I just love the fact that it just helps people shift into to like you say, just shift into a different gear. When they see something, then they're able to be like, "Oh, I get it." So, I work with a lot of parents, and sometimes, especially, when they're home and they're multitasking and they're doing this and doing that, and their kiddo comes up to them and doesn't say a word, but just gestures for something. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, do 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 do," and they get it for them. And then they're asking me why their kiddo doesn't talk more. It's just like, is
Oh,
there a
right,
need? There's no need
right.
for your kiddo to talk because all they have to do is look at you and you're handing them what they want, and
They're
they're so
using less
into it,
words. Right.
right? And the parent is so into that moment that they don't even see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
I have to call their attention to it, and then it's like, "Oh."
Right.
I think that's the same with us too in our business or in our other situations. I don't know, have you had those situations happen?
Oh yeah. In coaching, we've
Yeah.
we've at times we've had the same coach, right? And so
Yes.
we know about what should we say? Beliefs blocking and sometimes we don't even know what those beliefs are that are blocking us, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And just like us, right? When we don't see it, we need someone to come up and, like, "See that?" And
That's right. Hold the
you
mirror
know,
up.
right? And I just was laughing because I was working with a client just the other day, and he was so sure that he had no judgments and no expectations on himself, and but you could hear it when he was talking. But he was like, "Oh, I don't do that. I don't do that. That's other people, you know?" And it was kind of fun to totally shift gears and kind of come at it from the back door, so to speak, and just have him realize like, "Oh,
Right.
I do that, and that's what it looks like."
Right.
Okay.
And it's the same thing when we learn or we happen to help others see it. It is often so much easier for someone else to see it. Even though in my case that happened today, I was quite emotional, but it was connected. I was connecting to things that ought not be connected, perhaps, right? And so, anyway, it's such a gift to be, I don't know, grow and to keep it real. And then it's an honor and a privilege to call you my friend and do some of this work with you side by
Yes.
side. You know, sometimes we've been coached by the same person. And anyway, it's you're such a blessing. I can't thank you enough, Melinda.
Oh, thank you. That just fills my heart so much. Thank you so much. I love our connection. I love that we came together through like, you know, the coach and our continued connection. I really feel just we have a good thought process and we support each other, and that's what it's all about. You have such a giving heart and you're so true and honest, and I just love talking to you, and you're so uplifting, and I just love every time we talk. But you're, you know, getting back to what you said, like sometimes like we connect things that might not ought to be connected, right? But really, like you know, personally, you know, I had this a lot of the same types of connections, and I think the beauty and the joy now is for to be able to help others maybe see those same connections as well, and then to disconnect them, because as we know, those connections no longer serve us, right? They're no longer helping us move forward or be helpful to other people in the way that we want to be, in the magnitude that we want to be.
Right. And then and first, thanks for the kind words. You know, thank you. And you know, I feel the same about you. I think, who was it? Was it JC that said, we don't know what we don't know?
Yeah.
And I remember when I first heard that, I was like, what?
Right. Right. But it's so true. Everyone, you know, it's like autopilot. There's so many, you know, different books out there, or, you know, I just happen to have one of the books. I don't know if you've seen this, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer.
Yeah, my girlfriend Cricket gave me that book. Go ahead, talk about it. Mm-hmm.
So Michael Singer has this great way, very layman's terms, very easy to understand. It's a really good read, and I recommend that to all my clients, where he talks about like the roommates in your head. But those roommates are like, you know, like it's just so funny because those roommates, right? They're the voices that are like, you suck, you can't do this, you don't know, you're no good, right? And it's just kind of funny because if we actually lived with the people who talk like that, we would be like, get out of here.
We use the F word. Don't let the door hit you in the
right. Don't let the door hit you in the arse, right? If they were real people, right? We would be saying that. And yet they're in our head and we listen to it.
That's right. That's right. And I think roommates has 2 M's, so does it? I don't know. I can't take myself too seriously.
Well, yes, right. Let's see.
It does. people on TV have full production teams. They just have to worry about going live. They don't have to worry about all the extras.
Right, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's just we listen to things that we shouldn't, right? But like for some people, like people we've coached, and us at the beginning too. And I want to say, it's a process, right? So I don't know what voices I'm still not aware of.
Right.
I'm getting more aware of those voices in my head, right? And I want to say I'm recognizing it way, if not like, 90% of the time, right? But for some people, it's hard. It's hard because you're so used to hearing it. It's kind of like there's a train track that is a way we can hear the train. But it's like, have you ever lived like in the path of an airport or along a train track, and you're so used to the sound that you don't hear it anymore? You just get so used to something, you don't hear it. And that's what these voices are. We get so used to them, we don't even hear them as being different. And that's what Michael Singer talks about in the book. And it's just so hilarious. But,
they're different, and they're often, they're not the roommate we would choose.
Yes.
Right? They need to be evicted.
Yes. And that's what we want, right? And so, so evicting the bad roommates, getting the good roommates, that's what what is life's journey about, right?
That's right.
Because we want good roommates.
That's right.
We want roommates that are going to be supportive.
That's right. We're only inviting the people who bring us joy. We can be challenged, but we don't need any negative roommates.
Yes.
Especially
absolutely.
Self-imposed.
Yes. And I think that is the most difficult ones are the self-imposed ones, because a lot of times those are the ones we don't see.
Right.
We're so used to them hanging around that we don't even see that they're there or hear that they're there.
Right.
So
so
for me,
go ahead.
For me, like the best moments are when like my coach helps reveal to me those kinds of things, or when I then get to pay that forward and help someone else see that in them. Then those for me are the best moments, because those are like the ahas that have brought me to tears as well, many times. But they're the most impactful.
Mm-hmm. And it does. When we coach people, and I know this is true for you, it brings us a lot of joy.
Absolutely.
And I would imagine the coaches we work with, I hope we bring them joy. I hope I'm not a pain in their arse. I don't think we are. Well, maybe I am. That's a roommate.
That's a roommate right there. You got it.
All right, Mel B. I love these moments with you. And if anyone's listening, reach out to Melinda Burkhart. You can DM her or tag this video, and or reach out to me and I'll connect you to her. That would bring me a lot of joy too. Anyway, that's all for today, folks. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.